Say what's happening. You already know who this is. This is your guy, D Good on What's Happening TV on another IDB Time production. You feel me? Say, I got a hot topic tonight. You know what I'm saying? A hot topic, right? You know, in life we progress, right? We can't stay the same. We gotta grow. You know what I'm saying? We gotta grow. No matter what, we got to grow. Because being the same person, it ain't gonna allow you to bring yourself life. You get what I'm saying? So my hot topic today: when do a student become an instructor? Have you ever asked yourself, when do the student actually become a teacher? You know, that's the transition from a student to a teacher. That's kind of difficult and challenging in a way. Why is that? Because when you become a teacher, or when you gradually become a different person on a different level, you can't act the same. You can't act the same. You can't be the same. You have to be more than, you gotta be what you should be. You feel me? And I think that's very challenging, becoming something that you never thought you're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Actually becoming whatever individual you ought to be. That's hard. You know what I'm saying? That's actually challenging to be a person that you never thought you're gonna become. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be a person where, people look up to you. Man, regardless of the situation, man, people gonna look up to you regardless. Whether you doing wrong or right, people gonna be inspired by whatever you do in life. You know what I'm saying? I know when I was younger, right? My mom used to work my nerves all the time. She used to say, man, your little brothers look up to you. You need to watch what you do. I tell my mom in a heartbeat, I don't want to be no leader. I don't want to be that. But you know what's funny, right? Imagine you not having that conversation with your parents. Let's imagine that we having this conversation on a spiritual base. Let's say you actually having that conversation with God and telling God what type of person you're not gonna be. Ain't that funny? You telling God that, man, I'm no good person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you want to put me in that position, man. Ain't nobody gonna see me in that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. Nah, God, don't put me in that position. Nah, you gonna go. You gonna be in a position that you never thought you would never be, especially if you challenge God in a way where you telling him that you're not a type of person that can handle certain responsibilities. You telling God like, nah, God, I'm not capable of being a president or a CEO or a professor or a doctor or a lawyer or engineer. You telling God that, man, I am not no leader. That's the most challenging aspect. Being creative into another being that you can't even see that yourself can be. Man, that's scary. Don't you understand? That's actually frustrating that you can really become all that you can be. And sometimes it's really hard to accept that we can become whatever we want to be because of the fact that we grew. I don't know about y'all, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time when I be talking, I'm talking to people that never thought they gonna amount to something. That's most of the time when I talk, that's what I'll be representing. I'll be representing a crowd of people or a certain people that never assume that they gonna never amount to something in society. That's the people that I'll be speaking for. I'll be speaking for the outcasts and the black sheets of the family because I was one of them. You feel what I'm saying? But I tell you one thing, man, it's something about them black sheeps of the family. It's something about those people that, you know, people say you ain't gonna be nothing or amount to nothing. It's something about that, right? When it comes down to people like that, we always want to prove a point to somebody like, yeah, I'm that person, I'm that guy, I'm whatever I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm getting somewhere with it. What I'm trying to say at the end of the day, sometimes we be so focused on the factor of we need to let these people understand who we are because we never really got a chance to see who we are. So we feel like we have something to prove because of the fact that nobody really saw us. And I think that's why it hurt the most, especially when somebody kind of do you dirty. You like, people really don't know what you've been through, you know what I'm saying, and what you hold on to. And at times it's not for for people to understand what you hold on to or whatever, or what you're going through. But it is, but during that process, you're gonna be an example to other people of how you move. You know what I'm saying? People gonna like the way that you navigate in life. That's a fact. People admire who you are because of the fact that you struggling with yourself. And people never understand that you're struggling with yourself. They only see your results. People only care about the results. So I'm saying all this for, when you never saw yourself and you finally get a glimpse of who you are, it feels good. And not only feel good, but it's also depressing. Because, the reason why I say it's depressing because you never allow yourself to look at yourself with a high self-esteem. Because you only look at yourself through a poverty mind frame. Yeah, poverty mind frame. You know, I'm saying all this for, man, I went to church, right? And not only church, but I also talking to my mama, right? They told me, man, I got some negative ways of thinking. And they absolutely right. I only look at the negative of things instead of the positive things because the negative is right in front of my face. And the positive is front of my face, but it's some distance between the negative and the positive. The negative seem accessible. And the positive, man, you got to put in work. Man, hard work. You know what I'm saying? We be thinking things just gonna happen. Things ain't just gonna happen, man. No matter whatever you want in life, we can actually receive it, but it just take work. And if we never get to the milestone that we achieve to be, at least we have some type of goal. And that's why you're admirable. That's why people admire you so much, because of the fact that you actually give things a try. But while you give things a try, people actually, while you actually giving things a try, people admire you about it. You taking it away from yourself. You making yourself a disadvantage to yourself because of the fact that you put in the work in outside of yourself and forgetting about the internal work that you have to do within yourself. But man, I'm saying all this for, man, it got to come to a point where that one student has to become a master. And sometimes picking up that cross, picking up the duties, picking up that ornament, whatever you pick up, sometimes that's challenging as possible. Sometimes it seems difficult than the most. But if we don't pick it up, what's going to happen? I feel like it's time to actually not only be an example to others, but it's also great to be an example of yourself as well too, to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think it's time for us to be the master of our own fate. And I think once we realize that we can actually be the master of our own fate, man, it's so much emotions. But if we don't allow ourselves graduated from the student to the master, especially it's your time to become the master, other people gonna master your own mind because you afraid to pick up your own mind to master it. Now, I tell you right now, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of allowing everybody else to control me and I'm not controlling myself. Now, when I'm saying that, I'm saying it like in a way like, I give too much people of my own power and authority. I give myself away too much. And I get mad because of the fact that I really never gave myself to myself. I'm still trying to be a student. When it's time for them to be a master. But I have barriers that's trying to stop me from being that master. And the only reason it's stopping me because of the fact that I'm scared to lead myself. You know, I don't mind leading other people and showing everybody, man, they're capable of it. Man, I can't do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but man, it's really time for me to really acknowledge the master within me. And I think you do, I think you should do the same. Because too many people got access to us for us to not have access to ourselves. And for other people have access to you at times, they not gonna always mean you good. But you will always mean yourself good if your heart is in the right place. That's why I'm saying, man, when a student become a master, because I feel like not only me, but other people, we got what we need in order to be better than what we should be. But ain't nobody gonna be able to force it on you. You gotta accept it for yourself. And I think it's the time where we should be able to live, even though some people still surviving to live, man. That survivor mind frame really take away from you living. So I'm saying all this for, man, be your master. You got yourself here. So you got yourself here, you just gonna throw in the towel on yourself? Nah. It's time to convert the student to the master within ourselves. And at the end of the day, best believe God got us. So what's your plan? Because my plan is start mastering myself. Because I gave myself away too much to other people. Too much. I can honestly say that I want myself.